Hey everybody, welcome back to B-Dubs Disc Golf. If I haven't said it to you already, Happy New Year. It's 2025 and I'm hoping to have some new stuff in store for you this year. We are at Sunrise Disc Golf Course. I'm here intentionally because I was looking back on my videos of 2024 and this was the first video I did in 2024. So I thought it would be fitting to start 2025 at Sunrise again. I don't know if I'll do that every year, but I'm doing it this year, so it should be fun. It's been a little bit since my last video. Hopefully you didn't miss me too much, but I had a successful Vlogmas in 2024. Put out a pretty large number of videos in a short period of time. So from this, at least starting in January 2025, we're going to go back to about a week. Maybe every so often there'll be 2 videos a week. One thing that I want to encourage you to do is to subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't hit the notification button, feel free to hit the notification button. And then that way, even if I'm putting out videos that are not necessarily at the exact same day, at the exact same time, if you hit the notification button, YouTube will let you know when I put a video out. So nonetheless, thank you for watching. Thank you for being awesome subscribers. And let's see how today goes at Sunrise. Last year about this time, I shot a respectable 5 under, so I'm going to try to beat it this time. Start off with a forehand FX3. Horrible. Going right at it with my Ripit M4. That was a yank. It's all right. Have you ever heard the adage, it's best to start with a bogey? I think that's just the easy way to feel better about yourself because you got a bogey starting off. Bottom line is, it's best to start off with a birdie. There is no evidence to support a bogey first means a better round. There's a very strong smell of skunk right now, but I promise you there are no mustelids in the area, if you know what I'm talking about. And you get an extra point if you know what mustelid means. Basket number 2, 243 feet. I'm gonna go straight at it with my M2. Super lucky roll. I got a very loud wow from the crowd across the parking lot, and I'm pretty confident she is the one with the pet skunk because it was not a great shot. You saw it. Not a great shot. Let's see if we can make a great putt. I don't know why, but I almost never start off well at Sunrise. Maybe I just need to warm up more. All right, 2 easy pars starting off. We got a little bit of wind action going. So a couple exciting things for 2025. One, I will be back to a mixed bag. I thought about doing a crazy video about leaving Prodigy, but I didn't have enough time to invest in my creative juices for such a video. But the bottom line is, I'm not on the Prodigy Street team anymore. It was great to be on the team for a year. To be perfectly honest, 75% of my bag is going to remain Prodigy. Today, I'm still 100% Prodigy bag, but the next time you see me, I will definitely have a mixed bag. There's a couple of discs that will go back into my bag immediately, unless they shock me and they don't fly the same way. Number 1 will be the Cobra by Inovie. Number 2 would be the Hex. The axolotl version I have will go back in my bag. At one time, it would have been the Thrasher, but the D4 has beat out the Thrasher. So the D4 is going to stay in my bag and not the Thrasher. The Thrasher will not come back unless things change. So I'm excited to have some more videos with a variety of different discs for 2025. And so I'm looking forward to what we have in store. So basket number 3, 238 feet, PA2. And you know this ain't leaving my bag. That's all right. Tight window. If you're anti-prodigy for some reason, as I've run into a surprising number of folks that are anti-prodigy, they make good disc. And so if 2024 has not shown you anything by my videos, there are some really good discs made by Prodigy, and I encourage you to check them out. And feel free to check out my videos if you want to see how an old man throws a Prodigy disc. For funsies, we're going to run this. It's all right. Basket number 4, 170 feet. Even though it's a short distance, it's tricky because if we hyzer too much to the left, we can go down a little steep ravine, and we have enough trees to get too early. So it's a cool shot. I like it because even though it's short, it makes you think on how we're going to do this. Distortion, another disc that I do not think will leave my bag. Even when I go to a mixed bag, I think this is going to stay. It used to be a harp, but I'm kind of grown used to this. That is the danger, is that big tree. In many ways, the big tree saved me, because I think if I had missed the big tree, I might have gone too far to the left. I don't have a really good look at the basket, and we definitely have a death putt, and it's circle 2, so I'm going to wuss up and lay up. The other thing I'm excited about is, if all goes well, the next video will be a full-length featured interview with a special guest. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited about that, and I'm hoping it will be the first of a series of full-length featured interviews with some either local pros or local celebs, or maybe if I get lucky, international pros. So we'll see how it goes. Basket number 5, 183 feet. We're gonna go PA5. I'm sure you've heard me complain about it before. Just wish the PA5 had some fight back at the end of its flight. And that's why the Cobra is coming back. The crazy thing is, I really like the PA5. So I'm not sure if the Cobra is going to replace the PA5 or if the Cobra is going to be in addition to my PA5. We shall see. We still got the birdie though. So basket number 6 is 235 feet. And it's short, but I'm still going to go with my F5, mainly because we have a lot of backstop behind it. So it's got a lot of trees behind it, got the hill behind it. So I really can't go long. And I just like the F5 just because it goes so straight. So this also will remain in my bag because I love this disc. So let's see if we can't get that gap out there. I missed the gap to the left, and I still may have a putt. So even though I missed my line, the F5 went straight, and I like that. I do have this twig of a tree in front of me, which is not fun. Quick shout out to Matthew, who I just met, a watcher of the channel. Thank you for saying hey. I appreciate you. The other thing that makes this challenging is I might have to straddle putt. Actually, this is a better gap from this position. Straddling. I apologize for the bad camera view. I missed, but that's okay. Good height, just to the right. I feel like when I straddle, my miss is left or right. Basket number 7, 208 feet downhill. I believe we are at 1 under. My last video, I miscounted. Not only did I miscount while playing, I miscounted while editing. So apologize for that. But I think right now I'm 1 under. Basket 7, PA2 time. Get in. Ah. All right, here's a goal for 2025. Get a recorded ace. So I want it to be natural. So if that would have went in, that would have been amazing. But if not natural, maybe for Vlogmas 2025, I will pick a location and just throw a disc to get on, record it. And then of course I'll have to submit it to Simon Lazat's channel and see if he will show on his, what does it call it? Ace of the day, I think. I can't remember now. Anyway. Speaking of aces, question for the day, put your answer down in the comments. When you get an ace, do you take the disc out of commission? Like you take it out of your bag, hang it on your wall, or do you just mark it up, or do you do nothing? I'm very curious. I think I have 3 aces under my belt now with 2 discs. 2 of those aces were in front of other people, so that's fun. So they're actual in the rounds, and then one of those aces, actually 4 aces, 2 of those aces were just sort of me messing around. 5 aces, 3 aces were just me messing around, but 2 were actually what I would call official because they were recorded in U-disc and in front of other people. But what do? Do you take that disc out of commission, or do you just keep it in your bag? Interested, so please feel free to write in the comments what you do with an ace disc. Basket number 8, 216 feet, PA5 time. Pretty uphill. Should be all right. Well, this is going to be a tough one. Well into circle 2. Let's see if we can get a circle 2 putt. Oh, that was so close. I needed a little bit more body English. Basket number 9, 208 feet. Left gap, have it turn over, head towards the basket. Woo! I can't tell from my angle, but every time I do that shot, I feel like I'm on the verge of hitting these trees on the left. But I'm successful with it so often that my guess is I'm not that close to the trees. It just looks like I was that close to that trees. Because if I'm like only an inch away, there's no way that that throw is that precise, that I would have such a high percentage on this basket of making it. So this is another reason why, I don't know, is this a better disc for the PA5 or the better disc for the Cobra? Huh. I mean, truth be told, I don't know if my Cobra could do much better than this. I believe we are 3 under, I think. Basket number 10, super short, 95 feet. We have a double mando, a flick with a distortion. I don't know if I'd call this my nemesis hole, but I don't think I have ever birdied it. So through this gap, hard left, basket number 11, 226 feet. It is a doozy. Distortion time. and I hit a late tree. Otherwise, it was tracking nicely. So the closest I've ever been in is maybe the edge of circle 1 or edge of circle 2. One of these days, I am going to get it. Maybe today's the day. Who knows? Good bid. As a general rule, I do not talk to myself. I feel like when I'm doing these videos, I'm talking to you, not really talking to me. But if you are playing disc golf by yourself, give yourself some praise. If you get a good putt or a good layup, say good job. You should do that for yourself. Basket number 12, 150 feet, just a simple flick, straight, a little bit to the right on the other side of the trees. Get around. Oh. Was just asked by another player what my favorite disc was. And I'm always caught off guard when people out of the blue ask me questions. So, and I gave them the wrong answer. Because take a guess what my favorite disc is in my bag. But instead of answering his question, I answered his question with a question. I said, depends. What are you trying to do? You're trying to throw a disc far? Or are you trying to throw an upshot? And I said, if I want to throw a disc far, I throw my D4. And he pulls out an air D4, and he says it goes right on him too much. And so I say it might be time to disc up, stable up, like maybe a D3. I also recommend the Thrasher, which is another great disc. If I see him again, I'm also going to say try the D4 in a different plastic, because the air is so light, it is likely to go right. Anyways, this is a fun interaction. They also had an accent. It makes me wonder, I don't know, if he might have been from Russia. So, all right, this is a horrible shot on basket 12 because I'm going to blame being distracted. So let's see if we can make this putt. We did not make the putt, but easy par. He also had a D6 in his bag, which is very flippy. That was the D6 that I threw in Florida that kept going right on me like no tomorrow. Basket 13, 321 feet. It is our first par 4, and we're going to go with our F7. Very nice. I don't know if I've ever eagled this basket, but we got a long putt for eagle. But we do have a birdie. So I ran into the guy again and showed him my D4, which is in a different plastic and is a heavier weight, and suggested that he try the D4 in 400 plastic. Apology, you're going to miss me, because there's no doubt in my mind I have moved some product your way, but that's all right. No shade at Prodigy from my perspective. Really enjoyed my year with them, but just excited to throw a different disc and to show you some disc reviews. That's also something I want to do more of in 2025, review discs that are popular. Because I find when you watch someone who throws more similar to you, you'll get a sense of what that disc will do for you, as opposed to when you watch a pro throw a D1 and it just actually curves and makes an S. I can't make a D1 curve an S. Even the D1 that I did have, I mean, I gotta crank that sucker, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, but that's just not for amateurs and beginners. So. Also, a person in the group said they see my videos. How cool is that? All right, basket 14, 240 feet downhill. I'm gonna go with my P-Mono OS. Because I'm turning it downhill, I don't want it to turn over, so I'm gonna add some over stability. And then down the hill and to the left is where the basket. And we do have a Mando, so you have to go right of this tree with the red arrow on it. I don't know if you can see it. It might be behind this tree. Miss, miss, miss. It did not miss, but it still skidded past that little tree. I do not have a look through these trees, so I'm going to do the PMod OS again, see if I can't flick it over the trees. I had 0 lane to the basket. That was close. I feel like I go back and forth between backhand, forehand on basket 15, but I am convinced it's a forehand. So basket 15, 222 feet. We're gonna do a little flex forehand with the distortion. I hit some trees, but I actually think the trees saved me from it going to the creek. Interesting enough, the sign does not say the creek is OB. I almost always play it OB, so it might be casual, but the sign does not say it's OB. So maybe I'm worried about it too much. Regardless, OB or not, it is a much more difficult putt from the creek behind the basket. And I just feel like whenever I do backhand, it turns over and just manages to get through all the trees and gets into the creek. So I'm gonna stick with the flex forehand and see where it got me on this one. I still say it's a flex forehand, even though I'm very short. I just threw it way too high. Tough putt. I tickled a chain. There are 2 baskets that I'm not sure if I've ever birdied here at Sunrise. One is basket 11. Is that right? Yeah. And the next one is basket 16. So basket 16, 285 feet, uphill and to the left. My miss tends to be going too straight, too long. So we're gonna go with a Hyzard M2. Definitely too long and too high. This will be tough, but I think I got a window. Now, possibly the worst situation is a tester for bogey, but we did it. Basket number 17, 190 feet. We need to go to the right and have it finish left, which PA5 does not do. So I'm hoping it won't go too far right of the basket. Crazy skip off of that big tree. Hope it didn't roll down the hill. So here's a pro and a con. This is a very good shot. And from the tee pad, it looked like I was way too far right. And that's something that I got to work on and not get so much into my head that I have to be bullseye every time off the pad. And I have to remind myself that what it looks like from the pad, it may not be reality once you get towards the basket. From the tee pad, I thought I was too far right. But here, this is a tap in almost for birdie. The other thing that I have to work on in 2025 is I can't get too negative on myself. Right now, my expectation is, especially on a course like Sunrise, that I'm supposed to birdie every basket. And that is a dangerous mindset to get into because you just get too negative into your brain. And so I try to remain positive, always try to remain positive, but sometimes even when I'm positive, in the back of my brain, I'm like upset because I missed a 200-foot basket for birdie. You know, in my mind, 220 and under should always be a birdie, but it's impossible. It can't always be a birdie. times. So under normal circumstances, I would pull out my F2, maybe even my F1. But my F2 is in timeout, at least for stable shots where I need something to fight the wind and go left. I can't trust it. I think it's going to turn over. My FX3 should have enough stability on it and also get out there enough to before it turns left. My concern with the F1 is my F1 is going to turn left too soon, but it's pretty serious wind right now. And where I'm at the T-pad, it feels like the wind is going strong crosswind from left to right. But when I look at the leaves out there, I'm not sure. So it's either an F1 or an FX3, but I'm going to go with my FX3 and just throw it with confidence. Basket number 18, 281 feet. I yanked it. I yanked my FX3. So Robin C just recently put out a video of decision versus choice. And so normally I have a disc that I always throw on this basket, but because it's no longer in my bag, my choice has been reduced. And then it's my decision. Do I have the right disc for this basket and a disc that I would choose with confidence? And right now I don't, which is sad, because I would say normally I would definitely be very confident on what I would throw. Actually, back in the day, I threw my Ezra Robinson F1, who's also no longer with Prodigy. But maybe this is an F1 shot. And I've messed up because I had my confident disc and now I don't. So anywho, we have a very long putt for par, and otherwise we are going to end on a not so good note, or maybe we'll end on a super positive note. Nope. Good bid though. Sorry to end with a bogey, but so the fun part, the 2025, I will be tweaking my bag once again. And so at the end of 2025, I might have a very different bag when I do my end of the bag video. But that'll be fun, playing around with different discs, seeing what is a good option for the future. The other thing that I want to do for 2025 is I actually want to play with a smaller bag. Time and time again, I am throwing the same disc over and over and over again. If you are a consistent watcher of my YouTube channel, you see the same disc over and over and over again. And I don't think it's from a lack of variety in course play. So I think that I want to reduce the bag, get a smaller bag, and maybe be at a streamlined 15 disc, no more than 20 disc bag instead of the big bag that I have. But we shall see. And then of course you always have that disc in your bag that maybe you don't throw a lot, but when you need it, you're certainly glad that you have it, and that's my A1. So, well anyway, hey, once again, shout out to Matthew for saying hey to me on the course. Shout out to another guy who said hey to me on the course. Didn't get your name, I apologize. But I appreciate you. So when you see me out there in the course, say hey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a very wonderful new year in 2025.